on March 20th, Mercury finally stations direct. We enter into the spring equinox and we can finally start to exhale. So welcome back everybody. My name is Debbie. This is the Mind, Body, Soul Evolution. And for our fire signs, for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, this is your reading for the spring of 2026. So how is everyone? So let me get into my notes here so I don't miss anything. So a lot is happening and there's a lot of forward motion and a lot of change and transformation ahead for everyone. But just before there's a breakthrough, there's a lot of intensity that builds up, right? There's a lot of deep intensity that builds up just before you have a breakthrough. So just keep that in mind, that that's part of the natural process, especially if you're going through something new. So again, spring 2026 is very high energy for the fire signs, especially because we are in the year of the Fire Horse. Now this is Aries and Leo and Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So even if that is not your sun sign, it could be your moon or your rising sign. So maybe watch this or send it to a friend. So we could expect, especially for our fire signs, rapid growth, big career moves where maybe you were hesitant before and now you're just moving forward almost without thinking, but moving forward with intuition. That's going to be a big element. It's a big element for this year, but it's going to be a big element moving forward once Mercury stations direct. So this also brings, a lot of confidence, right? As the fire signs are not confident enough, right? It brings to the forefront a little more confidence, some major breakthroughs. So, you're also, some of our fire signs might be taking big risks, unexpected risks, right? But these risks lead to major transformation for you. So if it feels like you should just do it, then just do it. So Saturn has entered Aries on February 13th, right? And it will be there until April 12th of 2028. So to 26-month cycle of Saturn and Aries. So Saturn is the planet of discipline and structure, right? And it's providing guardrails. And I said because Saturn rules Capricorn. And I have said this many times before, it feels like very Capricorn energy. It's providing the structure, right? So this way, when you have your passions that arise, that they translate into lasting results. They're not just scattered all over the place. They're really funneled with a structure and a plan. And Jupiter moves into Leo. Jupiter is in Cancer right now. And Jupiter loves Cancer, but it's moving into Leo on June 30th. And will be there till July of 2027. So just a little over a year. So Jupiter is a planet of luck, right? Abundance, and it's not going to disappoint during this transit. Not at all, especially now that Jupiter just stationed direct as well. It was retrograde and now it's stationing direct. So all these planets moving from one sign to the next, and all these planets starting to go direct after being retrograde, we're going to feel a big shift for sure. And again, it's going to affect our fire signs a little more. So again, Jupiter is a planet of luck and abundance, and it does not disappoint everyone. It does not. So with the fire and passion of Leo, right? Because Leo is a really heated, heart-centered sign. Jupiter brings luck, abundance, and optimism. So that carefree spirit, that's probably when the optimism makes its way forward, that's probably when you will tend to take risks that you didn't plan on taking, right? So fire signs, expect your creativity and self-expression to be enhanced for the next year. And Sagittarius, the year of the Fire Horse aligns with your adventurous spirit, right? You are the ultimate adventurer. You go off on a whim out of nowhere. You don't make plans, you just kind of go with it. So this time for Sagittarius especially is highlighting travel, education, and philosophy. So let's get into this. Aries, how are you? Welcome to spring 2026. We have the Moonology deck, the Moon deck, 2 tarot decks, and the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. We'll see. There's not necessarily a plan here. We'll just shuffle and see what happens. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is for you. And this is for the whole spring. It takes us all the way to the summer equinox, summer solstice. So from the spring equinox to the summer solstice. This is your reading, Aries. And you have a lot going on. You're managing a couple of pretty good sized planets, right? So, but that's okay. You can do that. So let's see what the cards hold for our Aries friends. And of course, if this doesn't resonate with you, this is a general reading, right? So just take what feels right and maybe give it some time. I'm doing this for the spring of 2026. Oftentimes, the energy of the reading continues further, and some of this may not show up until maybe the fall. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'll just pull a couple cards and then we'll start the reading. And I have 2 different tarot decks, the Light Keepers deck and the traditional Rider-Waite. Because I've been feeling a little more traditional in my tarot cards lately. I don't know why. But that's fine, right? Go with whatever is pulling or calling you. Okay, so we'll go over these cards first. This is from the Moonology deck. So, Aries. Last quarter moon and Pisces. Talk less and feel more. Again, Aries, you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders right now, it feels like, right? But talk less and feel more. So, and they say, silence has so much to say if we just quiet the outside world and quiet our mind. And let me just go to that quieting the mind. The mind never stops, and it should not. It's not meant to stop. We decide to tell our mind what to focus on instead of it running to the past or to the future, or to think of things that haven't happened or may never happen, right? They say don't believe everything you think. It's to guide your mind as to where you need it to focus. And that's when the mind feels still and quiet. So, feel more, Aries. And last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. Okay, so we'll get into your reading, Aries. There could be some shadow work. And reveal what needs to be seen. You may need to find that quiet time in order to realize what you need to see. What either you need to see yourself or what you need to show to the world about yourself. Interesting. You have, I free myself from critical thoughts towards my body and my worth. Reveal what needs to be seen. So those of you who work in the space of being a light worker or a holistic practitioner, maybe it's to show people what we reveal needs to be seen. Maybe it's about showing people you're just as human as they are, and you have these critical thoughts. Some people might call them intrusive thoughts, and we have them because society kind of tells us. And I keep saying I have to do a video on what society tells us, and I need to make a note of that. Maybe somebody can remind me in the comments, because once I get done, I'll probably forget. This is about recognizing those thoughts. So maybe feeling more and talking less is letting those feelings, right? And thoughts are feelings, right? Letting them come to the surface, recognize them, and setting them free from yourself. And maybe that's what the world needs to know about you. Maybe that's what you're revealing to the world, that we all have these, and this is the journey that you went on. I said at the very beginning, this sounds like some shadow work for you, and it may very well be. And then you have, I love this, right? Your first card is I free myself from critical thoughts towards my body and my worth, right? That's the first card. The second card, this is why I do what I do. Things line up. The alignment is just automatically there. And this is card 44. I'm in the top corner here. If anyone is into the numerology, 44, which is a master number. Your next card is card number 8. This is Leo energy. Although this reading is for Aries, all the fire signs tend to line up together. And it says, I am courageous, steady, and strong. Aries, really, you always start us off on a strong note. You free yourself from your critical thoughts towards your body and your worth. And your worth is knowing you are courageous, steady, and strong. I mean, really. The whole reading could probably just stop right there. I won't. That is the power of this. That is the power of this kind of work. So Aries, let's go into your tarot. We will start off with the Rider-Waite deck. I've already pre-shuffled, but we will shuffle again on camera. And let's see. So as you reveal what needs to be seen, and in that revelation of freeing yourself from your critical thoughts about your body and your worth, you let them see your courage, your steadiness and your strength to go through this transformation. I just love this. Aries, I love you. I love you. And this is just so beautiful. So let's see what the tarot holds for our Aries friends for the spring of 2026. As Mercury stations direct and we have all these planets shifting, Jupiter moving into our fellow fire sign of Leo. Yeah, so there's a lot. In Aries, I think you have Saturn and Neptune that you're kind of juggling around right now, right? Yeah, so I think Venus just left Aries, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't have my notes on that. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, wealth, abundance, right? Looking good, feeling good, knowing your self-worth. So that could be some Venetian energy for you, Aries. Just saying. I'll pull a couple more cards. And we'll have the second deck to clarify anything, just because. I keep saying, sorry, I'm going to push this back a little bit. That I need to get a bigger space here for the cards. So what else do the cards hold for our Aries friends? Because Aries, you're coming in strong. On the root of the deck, and I pull 9 cards. That's just what I do. 7 of Pentacles. Let's see what the rest of the cards hold for us before I go into that. Oh, yeah. You're coming to an end of a phase for sure. You have the Queen of Wands, King and Queen of Wands, not necessarily divine counterparts, but they are balancing partners. You have 2 major arcanas, the Magician and the World. So you're coming, okay, let's see. The Magician. Knowing that you have everything in you. It's tapping into your other resources other than your fire resource, tapping into the earth, air, and water resources. You have what you need. It's just recognizing what tool you need in the moment. And sometimes that can take, a moment to step back and get really quiet. The World. This is a completion card. This is coming full circle. Like you've learned the lesson that you're going through. The lesson probably about your own self-worth and the thoughts in your mind. Right? Whether they be negative thoughts or critical thoughts, or thoughts of just not knowing if you have the ability. And here you go, that you do. 10 of Pentacles. Safety, security, fulfillment, right? Abundance, right? The card of abundance. Now on the root of the deck, you have the 7 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles is kind of like, do I keep going or do I stop and do something different? You keep going, Aries. You keep going. You come out very strong with the Magician of the World and the 10 of Pentacles. Then you have 3 wands in the next row. Ace of Wands, King of Wands, Queen of Wands. This is your energy. Like, this is your fire. The Pentacles are your grounding energy. This is Saturn, right? Saturn is building the structures. So when you start to put your passions into play, when you start to put your self-worth out there, it's not just blazing a trail all over the place. You are focused and you are funneling your energy and your passions to where you're going to, and you're going to your highest self. The Queen is the last card in this row. And she's got sunflowers on here, right? And the sunflowers always point to the sun. So even though the 6 of Wands is not here, it is quite possible that you're going to be highlighted, or something in your life is going to be illuminated. And again, if I think this is for someone who is been going through a really rough time, and you've decided to put your foot down and say, no, wait a minute. I'm not going to believe what other people say or what the thoughts in my mind say about who I am and my worth and my value. I'm going to lean into what I know about myself. And I know I have everything within me. And also knowing that everyone matters. Everyone has a role in this world. Everyone has something to offer. Finding that offering and putting it out there. Owning your rightful place. After being silenced and small for a while. I mean, the King is like, he's got no qualms. He's like, yeah, just own everything that you are. Own your vibrancy. Own your passion, Aries. Own the energy that is within you. And it's a lot of it. You go straight from the Ace of Wands. You skip all the others. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Page and Knight. You go straight from the Ace to the Queen and to the King and the Queen. So that means once you get going, like, there's no stopping you. So for some of our Aries friends, this is something that's been bubbling under the surface. Like, there's always pressure, right, before growth, before expansion. So if it feels like there's pressure underneath, there probably is. And that's okay. That pressure has to build up in order for the release to happen. And the only thing I can equate that to from a personal experience is like, giving birth, right? There's a lot of pressure. And if you haven't given birth, I'll have to find a different analogy, I guess. There's a lot of pressure in the body that the abdomen gets tight. And then things start to move, and once they start to move, it's quick, and it's a lot, though. It's still a lot of pressure until the birth happens. But you're giving birth to this new life that you're creating, or this next version or next phase of your life that you're creating, and it's so worth it to go through the pressure, to find your strength, to find your resilience. You've been a little lost maybe in the dark for a while, or misled by either yourself. It could be your thoughts, right? Because you say, I break myself free from critical thoughts. And our thoughts, they say, right? Again, don't believe everything you think, because they are misleading. And generally, they're not even our own thoughts. They're thoughts that society has put upon us, or that social media puts upon us. I mean, we are marketed to every single day. If you're scrolling social media, there's always an ad for something. There's always somebody telling you you should be toner, you should be this, you should be doing that, you should be selling this, you should like, it's insanity. So it's like you're pulling all of these swords out of your mind one at a time, and that could be the pressure. Or the pressure is them sitting in there, and when you start to pull them out, although it hurts, that's relieving the pressure. And then you realize, Aries, like how much you've been carrying that's not yours to carry. So much so that a lot of what you've been doing has kept you blind or short-sighted. You could not see where you're going. But then there's hope, and there's renewal, and there's a Page of Cups. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I need a softer life. I need a life that's calmer. I need a life that's more simplistic. That does not mean to be without passion, but it's not letting anything else get in the way. As you start to pull this, again, the pressure is these swords in your head. And as you pull them out, right, again, it hurts. It hurts like hell, right? But the pressure starts to relieve, and it starts to relieve. And then you go, oh, wait a minute, I don't have to carry this, Aries. You don't have to carry it anymore. So should you keep moving forward? Absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry. Let's pull out some more cards. This is the Light Seers deck. And let's just get a little more clarity on the Nine of Swords, shall we? Aries, how are you? That's a lot of information, and I tend to get a little emotional, right? I tend to get a little emotional about these things and excited, because this is so true. And I really need to do videos on the Hanged Man, on shadow work and understanding your shadows, and knowing about your soul contracts. If somebody can remind me in the comments, because I will surely forget. Okay. So, with the Nine of Swords, right? With all that built up pressure that is just getting stronger and stronger, you have the Hanged Man, which is perfect, right? Because you're gaining a new perspective. You're no longer settling for what you were carrying before. This card, right? Without even knowing what this card means, you can just tell, like, this is a card, it's like, oh my gosh. But when you look at the Hanged Man, it's like, this looks like, oh yes, this is that freedom. Changing your perspective. And you are going through that metamorphosis. But the thing is, you have to let yourself get quiet all the way around for this perspective to change. But you're already on your way, Aries, and you already know this. 8 of Wands, 10 of Wands, right? Yeah, what are you working for? And then you have the 10 of Wands to the 8 of Pentacles. You're working on, again, she's working on herself, on her skills, on her ability to manifest and create. This is a great, I'm sorry, there was just a pop-up on here. This is a really great card to remind you, again, you have the ability, you have everything within you. You're now using these tools to create and manifest the life that you want for yourself. This is beautiful. You have the Page of Cups, and you have the Star, being led by your inner light. Changing your perspective and allowing your inner light to guide you into this place, into this new world you're creating. You've already come full circle, it's time to let this go, and it's time to move into all of this. It's time to move into your strength, your passions, right? Let newness in. A lot of new beginnings here for you, Aries. Beautiful reading. Let's pull your last card. What is this again? The Keepers of the Light Oracle. And let's see. Let's see what the Keepers of the Light Oracle hold for you. And yeah, Aries, let me know how this resonates with you. I'm feeling this for you. I really am. Of course, as kind of like your sister fire sign, of course I would feel this and feel elated and happy for you. So, yeah, let's see. Let's see. You have faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm. Trust the good in yourself and others. See the light in the world. So have faith in this process. This is, trust the good in yourself and others. So when we go through these changes, there could be people in your life that just feel like they're pushing you, but maybe that's a soul contract to get you to move forward. So trust, have faith in yourself, have faith in the world, and have faith in others. Aries, that is your reading for this spring of 2026. Let me know how this goes for you. And again, it may not start, it may go longer than springtime, right? Which is perfectly fine. Let me put all these cards away. And we will move on to our beautiful, hello, Leo. How is Leo? Let me put these in, and we will get to Leo. How are you? Happy spring. Happy spring equinox, Leo. Oh, yes, how are you? Let's get into shuffling some of these cards. And, yeah. We'll see what the spring holds for our Leo friends, our fellow fire signs. So, what do you hold for Leo? So, Leo, if you caught any, you showed up for Aries in their reading. So, if you caught any of that, or if you didn't, maybe go back and kind of look at Aries for a little bit. If Aries is the beginning, I cannot wait to see like what else is coming up, right? That is for sure. That's a Moonology deck, and this is the Moon deck, and we'll see what this holds. It's going to be a really good spring. Things will finally start to feel a little freer, maybe a little easier in some aspects. But don't be surprised if things feel like they're going a little too fast. Yeah, we'll see. What do the cards hold for our Leo friends? What does this Moon deck hold for Leo? What message do you have? Our messages. Okay. So we'll open these, turn over these cards first. Leo, you have full moon in Pisces, forgive. Now, Leo, if I'm not mistaken, for the past several weeks in your personal readings, there's been somebody in your life who's been less than honest with you, or who has taken advantage of your friendship, of your gifts, and of your generosity. So this card says, full moon in Pisces, forgive. And tomorrow, this is the 17th, so tomorrow is the new moon in Pisces. And then you have a full moon in Libra, find balance. 2 full moon cards. Find balance. So forgive and find balance. Interesting. Beautiful cards. So again, Libra is not a fire sign, but it is an air sign, and I have to sneeze. Oh my goodness. And you have, my dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. So your dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. And you have, I shed habits that hinder my truth. I release and renew. So this could be around, forgiveness. Forgiveness is hard. There's a lot of controversy around forgiveness. And we know that forgiveness is not saying everything is okay. And And they say forgive hate the sin, not the sinner. But if it feels like somebody is intentionally doing something against you, right? It's really hard to forgive that. So maybe forgiveness is no longer putting up a boundary, no longer letting them have access to you. Maybe it's forgiving yourself, forgiving access to someone for a prolonged period of time who was inauthentic. I don't know. Shedding of those old habits, right? And Leo, again, you're heart-centered. You have a lot of trust and faith in people. But maybe just be a little, find balance in that trust and faith. Have more trust and faith in yourself. And let your dreams, right? Again, my dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. Let your dreams be your guiding light here. But let's see what the tarot holds for our Leo friends for this season of the spring. I love these cards. They always... It always comes together. So you have full moon in Pisces, so maybe lean on your Pisces friends. And if you have find balance with full moon in Libra. So Libra friends are really good with that. Seeing both sides of the situation, especially if it comes to needing to forgive someone or, forgive yourself. And I kind of think this is a self-forgiveness thing. 2 cards face up. 6 of Pentacles, the Empress. So remembering who you are for sure. So one of the big divine feminines, right? That maternal energy within you. We'll pull 3 more cards and then we'll see. Okay, so you have, the Devil popped up. You have 10 cards and 2 of Cups on the root of the deck. 2 of Cups is balance, right? It is balancing between, especially since there's an Archangel here and a lion head. So there you go. Balancing between, let's see what this 2 of Cups is going to reveal for you, because it may be a little different than what I think. The Devil is the last card next to, other than the 2 of Cups. We're going to just turn all these over. 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. I mean, really. And I'm not surprised that the 10 of Wands came up again, because it's a fire sign. All signs absolutely have the ability to overdo and to put themselves last and others first. So let's get into this. Your first card, again, Major Arcana. You have 2 Major Arcanas, 3 Major Arcanas. Your first card out is the Chariot. So you're ready. You're ready to move forward. I think there's a new community coming up your way. You have the 3 of Pentacles. But you're ready to leave the past behind. Now the Chariot, he's kind of moving forward from the village. But he's not hasty in this deck. He's not hasty. He's not rushing. He's not making any rash decisions. He's moving forward in balance, right? The black and white Sphinx. Moving forward in a very balanced way. It's almost like an exhale, and you just kind of settle in and you go, oh, this is what I need to do. Again, it could be, letting your dreams show you the magic. It could be that, you're shedding the old habits and not leaning into other people's expectations, but leaning into the life you want to create for yourself. You're ready for balance. Moving forward, there's a new community coming your way, whether you're moving from one home to another. For some of you, you may be moving country to country. Very interesting. Because you have a new home here. Four of Wands. This is a happy home. This is stability. This is joy. This could be what you have sacrificed for others, Leo. That's not what the cards say. This is what Spirit is saying. And again, this is a general reading, right? So if it doesn't resonate for all our Leo friends, that's fine. But this could indicate that you're finally moving towards the life of fulfillment that you wanted for yourself. And maybe you've kind of not done that. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Empress, the Ace of Pentacles. Again, I think there's a new beginning here. Ace of Pentacles. This could be a new job, a new career, a new way to make money, or a new way of looking what stability means for you. The Empress. Always remember who you are. Sit tall and proud. You are, in all the female signs, right? The ultimate mothers, the ultimate nurturers, the ultimate caregivers, but not giving at the sacrifice of yourself, but also including yourself in that care. Six of Pentacles. Being generous when you can, and to who you can, and not being I don't want to say not being generous, but if someone has done you intentionally wrong, or it feels like it's really been an intentional on their part, it feels like they've used you for your skills, your ability, for your friendship to their benefit, and they haven't really been a true friend, you get to decide that I can't give that to you anymore, because that's taking away from the home I'm creating. That's taking away from my ability to move forward to the life that I want. That is taking away from what I believe is security. That is taking away from me remembering who I am. And that comes into the Devil card, right? The Devil generally means unhealthy attachments to things, people, situations. But this could also be an emotional, how do I want to put this? Like someone has attached to you, or a situation has attached to you where you feel obligated to fulfill that need or that wish for them. But not at the expense of you. And it's very rare that I get like really intense. I don't do that. But if it feels like an obligation that you have to, and you're depleting yourself, then it's not a good thing. That's why in the very beginning I said, I think this forgiveness is for you. Not for the people or situations who take all your attention and focus and energy away. Because at the end of the day, we have the choice to say no. So maybe it's not forgiving others, but it's forgiving ourselves for not putting up those boundaries. All right. 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands, like the wounded warrior, like what are you working for, and where are you giving all your energy? And is it worth it if you can't see where you're going, or you're carrying such a big burden and there's no one to help you? This is a big lesson, Leo, about staying true to your heart, but turning your heart to yourself. And that's changing because you have 2 aces, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. And the Wands energy is yours. Yeah, these energies are hard, right? Because we're fire signs, and we get overly passionate, and we can overgive. We are mutable. Well, you're not a mutable sign, but I mean, fire has no boundaries, right? There's no boundaries in fire. It just goes wild sometimes. And sometimes you can give away too much of yourself and deplete yourself. You're changing that. All that focus is coming back to you, to the things that feel like, and this, it doesn't have to be necessarily a fair exchange, Leo, but where you feel like you are appreciated and really, where there's some type of reciprocation. You really feel like this is an authentic transaction and not just somebody taking from you all the time. There's an exchange. You are ready, but you're ready to move towards the life that you want to create for yourself, not based on anyone else's expectations. Does that make sense? We are going to pull some cards because there's a lot of energy here. So let's see. How can I put these back where they belong? Let's pull some more cards, Leo. Leo, you okay? That's a lot. Sometimes I say a lot. But when I feel these cards and I feel the energy of them guiding forward, then I then go, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, like I feel this for you. I feel this for you. And why? Because I do the same thing, or I've done the same thing. And I just had to put a boundary on someone today. And the thing is, I had to put boundaries on several people because, it's just got to be too much. And I just had to put a little boundary with love. But I just had to say no to something. And, it's a little, it feels like a little like, like, how dare I? But then it's like, oh yeah, wait a minute. I need to do this for me. And they're fine with it. So let's pull cards. What do we need to know about this Devil card? Okay, what does... The Devil again. So, difference in these devils. In this Devil card, like, the chains are loosely around their necks, right? Their hands are free. The chains are tied to this thing that this devil-looking idol is sitting on. Feeling like they have no other option. This Devil card is a little different. This is kind of being summoned in, like being pulled into a situation. Let's get a little more clarity on this. Where one, they're actually tied to the situation, although they can easily slip those ties off. The other one is they're being pulled into a situation. So maybe this is the shedding the habits that hinder your truth. Okay, you have the World. Yeah, you've learned this lesson. The World is the last card of the major arcana. You have come full circle, and it's like you're done. Like you can exhale, Leo. Like you're done. You've got the lesson, and it's not that you won't remain friends or have a relationship with this person or situation, but you're going to be really cautious as to how much of yourself you give away. You're tired, Leo. You're tired. I feel like you're doing all this work. You're out there by yourself. It's like you're carrying the burden. So let's get a card on this Ten of Wands. What is this Ten of Wands? What can we clarify on this Ten of Wands for our lovely Leos? Because it's like, oh my, my, my. Oh my. What is the Ten of Wands? What can we clarify here for Leo for the Ten of Wands? Judgment, right? If you're done, you're setting yourself free. Major Arcana. This is about releasing, setting yourself free from this, from being pulled in. And this could also, it could be somebody else's drama as well. Somebody could have drama happening in their life. And look, we all have things happening and we want to go to our friends and just vent about it. But if you feel like you're being pulled in to take sides, and this is just an example, if you're being called in to take sides, I can't take sides. I can give you the best of my advice, but you're ready. You are breaking free. Again, the Chariot, you're ready to move ahead because you're leading towards a life of stability and happiness and joy and celebration. And look at the happy couple there. They're just like, oh yeah, this is it. Like arms up. Yes, celebrating, breaking free. And what can you tell me about the Nine of Wands for our Leo friends? There we go, Leo. I love this. This is the shedding of the skin, right? The snake. I shed habits that hinder my truth. You're shedding that old skin, which was the 2025 animal for the Chinese New Year, and into the 2026, moving into more impassioned life for you. Because it's all about you, Leo. It's all about you. Okay. Yeah. Right. 9 of Wands, 3 of Hearts. So it could be, Leo, that you've been breaking your own heart, or you've been sacrificing yourself. And, I said earlier that, are you doing things out of what feels like an obligation? Like, oh, but I have to, because it's expected of me. And the more we do things that we feel like we have to do, that pull us away from where we want to go, like the more we break our own hearts. But again, you've got the world, you've come completely full circle. You've gotten that lesson. I think for some of our Leo friends, it may have taken a little while to get the lesson. I'm the same way. It takes me forever to get the lesson. And then when it comes through, I go, oh, wait a minute. I knew that. Okay, Leo, let's pull your final card for your reading. This has been a very interesting one. A big lesson for sure. A big breakthrough, though, at the same time. And again, there's always pressure before the breakthrough. Right? There's always pressure that builds up before there's the eruption of the breakthrough. So as Mercury concludes its retrograde, although it's on the 20th, it happens on the 20th, we will still feel the residual effects through the end of March, or through the March 30th. So, if you have a little blow up, Leo, it's fine. You have, I love this, Shekinah, the sacred self, and it says, unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance in the sacred rhythm of life. Oh my gosh, the white dove, Leo, right? Again, right? Release your spirit. And here you go, you're moving away. This is actually the card of releasing your spirit. This is a card of releasing your spirit, right? Express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. And these two are just out there like celebrating life on their terms. Like, yes, this is my life and I sure as hell claim it. Shekinah, look at that, Leo. Oh, look at the white dove. And the white dove is at her neck, at her throat chakra. So speaking your truth. And it says here, I shed habits that hinder my truth. I release and renew. It's like, Leo. It's like, yeah, this is it. This is beautiful, Leo. A little bump, again, a little pressure right before the breakthrough, but that's okay. You're Leo, you can handle it. Leo, I love this for you. If you have any questions, if there's something specific happening in your life and you would like to take a deeper dive in your personal situation, always feel free to reach out. And we will move on now and put the cards back. Sagittarius. How are my Saggy friends? Oh my goodness. Wow, a lot of lessons, a lot of breakthroughs happening for our fire signs. So what does this hold for Sagittarius? Oh my goodness, my. Our free-spirited, adventurous ones. The only zodiac sign, if I believe, that has a weapon. Just remember. I tell people, yes, I'm very nice, but my arrow is a flaming arrow sometimes, so just saying. Okay, what did the cards hold for our Sagittarius friends? These are the Moonology deck cards. Okay. We'll pull 2 out of here. These readings are so exciting. As you can tell, I get very animated. And I should be excited by what I do, right? So if you don't have that enthusiasm and excitement, like, find something that gives it to you. And let's go into the Moonology deck. So we have the Moon deck and the Moonology deck. 2 completely different decks. types of decks, but beautiful messages on both. And sometimes the artistry can be very similar, although I don't believe that they are by the same person, but I'll have to check that out. All right, Sagittarius, what does the moon deck hold for you during this spring? Okay, moonology for Sagittarius. Last quarter moon in Aquarius, reflect on your priorities. So Saggy, what is your priority? Like, reflect on the priorities. And you have, Leo, thank you for joining the Sagittarius reading. Find full moon Leo, find balance. Reflecting on your priorities and finding balance. Like, you don't necessarily find balance every day or every week or even every month, but just in life in general. Or even find a little bit of balance here and there. Sagittarius, you have love and intimacy flow into my life effortlessly. So just let that flow happen. Just look at that. She's just like surrounded by stars. Look at that, beautiful. And this is card number 21. And you have, what is it with naked people today? With focus and intention, I can shape energy in any direction. I have to cover this card up. Sacred geometry, Metatron. And I was just at a doctor's appointment yesterday, and Archangel Metatron showed up. Yeah, they thought I was a little nuts talking about that. But anyway, Sagittarius, this card says, this is card number 25. With focus and intention, I can shape energy in any direction. So that comes back into reflecting on your priorities. So shaping, creating, right? Manifesting. Your card in the tarot is the, it's a Wheel of Fortune, but it's Temperance, right? Temperance is an alchemist. So let's see. Focus and intention, you can shape energy in any direction. What direction, Saggy, are you shaping your energy into? Huh? Where are you going? What are you shaping? I would like to know for sure. Or what am I shaping, right? But this is all for all of our Sagittarius friends. This is so great. So, Tara, what do you hold for our Saggy friends for this spring? We'll pull 3 more. Leo got a little bit of a bonus card. Oh. What card popped over? Do you want to know? The Lovers. Gemini energy. Archangel Raphael. So those of you who follow archangels or are a little more tuned to angel spirits, that's Archangel Gabriel. I'm sorry, not Raphael. Gabriel. So let's see. So Queen of Swords and one more. The World. Okay. Another big lesson learned, right? And you have on the root of the deck 4 of Wands. Let me get these cards straight now. 4 of Wands. So the root of your reading is like what makes you feel stable and joyous, right? So let's see what the rest of the cards are. 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, 7 of Swords. Holy cow, Sadie. 10 of Cups, 5 of Wands, 10 of Wands. Holy cow, Saji. You're going through it. Okay. 4 of Wands on the root of the deck. That happy home, that life that you feel like might be out of reach. And here's the reason. You have the 4 of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords, the 7 of Swords. So we'll go back to here. 4 of Pentacles can be setting a new foundation. It could also, though, mean that you're holding on to something. Maybe holding on to an old belief or an old way of being. And I say that because you have the 9 of Swords. And we just had this with Aries. And so these deep-seated beliefs that we carry with us are really, really deeply embedded in us. They're in there, they're ingrained, they become almost part of your DNA. And it's part of our work in this world, in this life, to come back to our authentic selves, to come back to our heart selves, right? To come back to our guardians and let them remind us that who we really are. Seven of Swords. This can be a card of deception, but I think in this instance, Sagittarius, this is you taking back your power. This is you taking back. This is the card of outside influences, thoughts that are guiding you, that are intrusive, that are wrong and incorrect for you. This is you dumping those and saying, no, I'm taking the thoughts back. I am taking back my strength, my ability, my power to think for myself. And in thinking for myself, once I do that, 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment, wishes granted. You finally kind of open up that portal that has been closed. Here's the thing. There's conflict, right? This is the pressure before the immersion, right? Before the growth, before the expansion. We resist. And I don't know if people say it's human nature. I don't know if I really believe that it's human nature to resist. I think we've been taught to resist. To resist what we feel was right and true for ourselves. So we have this like internal conflict. Yeah, like I want this. Damn, I want this. You have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, I want to get really clear. But I've been taught, to hang on and to let this come in. But here's the thing. If you don't let go, Sagittarius, you're coming to an end. You're coming to an end of all this stuff. You'll feel like you've been completely defeated. And maybe you need to go through that phase where you not necessarily hit rock bottom, but you completely surrender. You go, I'm done. I just cannot do it anymore. Like you're completely done. It's in our moments of surrender when we actually hit that point where we no longer allow anything but our own intuition, our own divine compass to guide us. Then guidance comes in. And it says, here we go. Now I'm giving you choices that are aligned with you. Choices that are aligned with your soul's connection, with your soul contract, that are divinely guided by your archangels, your guardian angels. We have a lot of angels out there. And this is Archangel Gabriel. And in that, once you start to let that in, then you get really clear. And again, you go straight to the Queen, right? You're not messing around. If you go from the 9 to the 10 to the Queen, with 7, 9, 10 to the Queen, you're done. You go straight to the top, straight to clarity. In this, Sagittarius, she's on her throne. She looks like she's like floating, starting to float above the clouds. The clouds can represent fog in the mind, or not being able to see clearly, not having a clear vision of what you want. That's coming to an end. I think it's going to be really hard for Sagittarians because I think we get really stubborn. We get really stubborn and we want to take that bow and arrow and just kind of shoot at anything that is sometimes trying to help us. But you've got the Sagittarius. You're learning a big lesson as to how to trust yourself, how to move forward, and reflect on what matters to you, and allowing balance and harmony. And again, this is one of the greatest cards, right? Love and intimacy flow into my life effortlessly. Let love flow in. And intimacy can mean a lot of different things. It could mean physical, sexual intimacy. It could be spiritual, emotional, soulful vulnerability. Being vulnerable with somebody at your soul level or at your heart level, they're two different levels. The heart is the human level. The soul is the spiritual level. That can be so much more intimate than physical, sexual intimacy. You're learning to let this in. Again, my God, you have the card of the Lovers. The Lovers is Gemini. Gemini is your balancing sign on the zodiacal wheel. You're finding balance, right? If you're reflecting on the things that bring you you're prioritizing what feels good for you. It's going to take a little bit for you to realize that you need to let that old stuff go. And again, I'm just going to cover this because I have nudity on it. Right? You get to shape shift the energy for your benefit, for what you want. You want this. You want to feel like you are the center of your own world, not anybody else. It doesn't mean like it's always about you. What it means is you take care of yourself first. You let yourself be loved. You let your priorities be the focus. You let your own balance come into the forefront. Then everything flows from there. Let's pull some cards, shall we? Let's get some clarity. This is a lot, Sagittarius. So let's see. It's a lot for me. But let's see. So let's pull the Ten of Swords. Yes, let's pull the Ten of Swords and then we'll pull the Seven. So can you clarify the Ten of Swords for Sagittarius for the spring of 2026? Knight of Pentacles, right? So there's been a part of you that didn't feel worthy, or didn't feel like you had what it takes to create the life that you want, right? To create, where did they go? Okay, I lost the card. Here it is. To create the life that you want. That's ending. Ten of Swords, like this is the end of it. You're moving straight to the top again. You move straight to the top with your clarity, right? The Queen, and you move straight to the top with your financial security. With building the life that you want, for being the self-made person, not making any apologies for the way you want to live your life and who you want to be in this world. Big stuff, Sagittarius. Let's go on to the Seven of Swords. Where did that go? Can we clarify the Seven of Swords? These cards are a mess on the table. That's okay. Four of Wands. Four of Wands again, twice. The Seven of Swords, yeah, you're taking back your thoughts, the thoughts that they took away from you and replaced with thoughts that don't apply to you. You're taking them back. Again, this, dancing, being free, having what you want, celebrating your life in your way on your terms. This is where you're going. This is where you're going. You have the guidance. You're allowing yourself to be the priority in your life. Again, not that it's all about you. Taking care of yourself and nurturing yourself first. Setting yourself as the priority. And once you're filled and satisfied, everything else falls into place. And let's just get one more card for the Five of Wands, because that was kind of fighting. Like, this is what I've always done, but I know I want this. But what do I need to do? How do I do that? Can you clarify the Five of Wands for Sagittarius, please? Okay, let me see. King of Swords, right? You're done. You're done with being indecisive. You're done with letting too many things get in the way. This is really good. You have the Queen of Swords. You have the King of Swords. You're getting clear and straight to the point. It's like you're just moving forward. To the point where almost, Sagittarius, You probably will not even be telling people what you're doing. I think you're just doing it. You're just going forward. And then the rest of the world will see and they'll go, oh, look at her, look at him, like, look what they're doing. This may actually set up and be an example for others. I mean, he doesn't care if he's on the boat. Looks like he's on a boat on the water or somewhere. Like he's got the owl down here. He's taking everything he's learned, all the wisdom he's attained through the years, and he's just moving forward. I really get the feeling, Sagittarius, it's not in the cards. That's not what they mean. But I really get the feeling like people are going to sit up and take notice as to what you're doing, how you're doing it. Interesting, Saggy. Interesting. Let's pull our last card. And what does this deck hold for our Sagittarius? How can we round out this reading for Sagittarius and for our fire signs for the spring of 2026? It is going to be an amazing year. You have Paul the Venetian, experiencing grace. I might need my glasses on for this. And it says, share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. He's got like the rose in the center, and we've got the lovers. Sagittarius, I don't think there's anything else I need to say. That is your reading. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, thank you so much for joining me. And cross watchers, thank you for being part of our community. And always, if you'd like to work with me in any capacity, my email is in the description box, or you can leave a comment and I will get back to you. I'll get you on the books, and let's see what this spring holds for everyone. But until next time, everyone, happy spring. I'll see you soon.